If you want to see me swatch this NYX Off Tropic palette, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, we are going to do some swatches today. Actually, am in a swatching mood, so you're probably going to see a number of swatching videos over the next number of days, interspersed with other videos as well. If you are wondering what is on my eyes today, I can tell you it is the Shiny Pretty Things in Rose from MAC. Let me show you the palette. This is the palette, and I used my nemesis, this color that is supposed to be red per the pan, but turns out more of an orangey red, and I'm trying to make friends. I really am. So anyway, if you were curious, that is what is on my eyes today. Coming back to this little guy, it is a palette that I've had on my sites since quite early this year. I think it came out in the spring. And the reason I have it now is because this little guy came on for half price. And I told myself I was not willing to pay $24 Canadian for this thing, or $24.99, but it came on for 11 something. And so that is my price range for 10 shadows like this. And it is cardboard packaging, which I do appreciate, and it has a magnetic closure, which again I appreciate. It's very, very sleek, and it makes me think of the size of the Semi-Precious from ColourPop from a couple of years ago. Actually, ColourPop, the more rectangular ColourPop palettes seem to be kind of like this. At least one other one that I know of. Anyway, so it is identified, as I mentioned, as off tropic, and it is tropical colors, and there is a sister palette to this that is still 24, so I was not interested in that one, but really this is the one that I was after to begin with, and I'm very happy to have had my my opportunity to get it. So I am ready to swatch this. There are 10 shadows, so I think I'm going to start off with 4 and do 3 and 3, swatching with this hand onto this forearm, which is my preference as usual. So let's do this. My hands, I did put lotion on my fingers before the video, so hopefully they won't be as dry. Famous last words, but let's give it a try. So I'm going to go with these 4 colors to begin with. And they do not have shadow names as far as I could see. So we are just going to go with the description of the color itself and call it a day. So here are the fingers, and let's give it a go. Number 1, 2. It's a nice hot pink. 3, oh yeah, this is a shimmer, so it goes on a lot easier. And 4th is the green. Yikes. Okay, might be just because it's the pinky, but it's having some trouble. And the fingers. I am going to swatch all 4 of them because I don't find the color payoff is huge, but at the same time, I am happy if a matte is buildable, because then you can do a wash of color, or you can go all in with a color with a repeated application. So let's try that again. Okay, so that does not too badly on the second pass. Let's do this one. Oh, this one feels really good, a little bit tacky, which is not a bad thing at all. The gold, which is an easy one to swatch, again builds nicely, a bit tacky again, yeah. And the green is a little bit patchy, but it may again be because of my pinky. Oh, it's not looking, so in the viewfinder it looks more patchy, I think, than you may be able to see, but I don't mind these 4 colors so far, and the pink seems to have a little bit of a blue undertone. Maybe a little bit. Not sure, but I see something. Okay, so there are the first 4, and my fingers, as I usually like to show you. I'm going to wipe these little babies off and then do the next round. Okay, so we've done these first four. Now we're going to go, I think we're going to go blue, purple, and red. We'll do these three next. And the blue is a shimmer blue, so I think it's going to look quite nice on the eye. Woo, it's very bright. Next one I think is a matte. Yeah, it's a red matte. And I like red mattes. If you've seen my red swatches video, I'll put it right here. Love the red mattes. And then this one is, it's not quite a matte. There's a little bit of a butteriness to it that, well, let's see. I could be wrong. The textures on these are different, which makes me think that there's been some thought put to the formula more than sometimes I see on less expensive palettes. Well, palettes in general, even high-end stuff, sometimes you kind of go, they just push this out. There's no rhyme or reason. Okay, so that's the matte red. And then the kind of, almost like a pastel purple. Yeah, the pastel purple and the pink, they're not that different, are they? They might blend to the same thing on the eye. Maybe on the second pass, they'll look different. Oh, and I didn't show you the fingers. Sorry, I've already swatched the blue. I'll show you the fingers on the second pass. Hopefully I don't forget. The shadows are somewhat powdery. That doesn't bother me, but it does bother some people. So I'm just mentioning it. So again, those three fingers. The colors are vibrant enough I don't have to wonder where my finger should go. That's good. And the red, I didn't show you the fingers again, sorry. Yeesh. This one has more of a pastel feel, for sure. And there are the fingers. The blue really has some staying power. And that, I was mentioning this one sort of looked like a shimmer, and it does. It's like between a shimmer and a matte. It has more of that glow. Very interesting. And this one has a bit of a peachy undertone somehow, the way I see it on my finger. Oh, sorry for my hand. It's stained with with some CC cream, but anyway, there we go. I will wipe these off, and we are going to go to the last three colors. Oh, no. What am I doing? Yeah, last three colors down here. Looking forward to doing those, especially that yellow that's almost like a mustardy yellow, but not quite. That looks really interesting. The only one that looks like almost a satin finish is this purple down here, but we'll see what it's like. That red has some really good staining power. Holy cow. Now, the last three, we have the yellow, the very bright coral, and then that purple that I said looks like it has a little bit of a shimmer to it, at least a glow to it, similar to that purple earlier. It's like a burgundy. Here we go. I didn't forget this time, guys. All right, so let's take a look at these three. I'm surprised at how much the yellow shows up on my skin. I'm happy with that. That was that coral. And then that shimmery, at least looks burgundy in the pan. What does it look like here? It's a little bit too far on my arm to be able to see. There's not that much variation between this one and this one, at least in real life here. Well, it is a little bit deeper, but not. Yeah, I think I could use these two interchangeably. I don't mind purples and deep pinks, so it's not a big deal. But and here are the colors on the fingers. The yellow definitely has some shine to it, but let's swatch them a second time, shall we? That coral is surprising me. It's kind of like between a coral and a fire engine red. Here's the second pass. It's a good yellow. It's a really good yellow. There we go. And then finally that sort of burgundy color, the Enigma. Okay, it's showing up a little bit more, and it also shows up more on my finger as far as the true color of it. So maybe it's one of those colors that packs on nicely. So it might be a color that goes well with finger application. I would definitely say the coral does. Look at that saturation. Whew. Very nice. Okay, just another look at that palette and the colors. Hopefully you can see it all. All right, so let's talk a little bit. I'm just going to wipe my fingers. And what I want to do is talk a little bit about the colors once I have them now, since I have them now on my arm. And I want to just offer up any surprises that I am seeing here. I was expecting what I've got out of the hot pink. I was expecting definitely the gold I was expecting. The blue is punchier than I thought it was going to be, so that's a nice surprise. I like the yellow. It shows up very nicely. It didn't just powder away. There's a decent amount of pigmentation there. I'm happy with the burgundy. That is going to be another red that I'm happy to have in my collection. And these two, which would be, to me, colors like a fuchsia, would be colors that would attract a lot of people, and they're just not as good as I thought. Although, I mean, as a transition color, they should do relatively well. And I'm not huge on greens, but this is a neat, I'd call it a Kelly green, and definitely one that I would probably use for next St. Patrick's Day. I'd probably do a look with this one, and this one for St. Patty's Day. I think it could do quite a nice look. But if I were to do a look very soon with these colors, let me see here. I would probably use this one as the wash of color to start, this one, and this one. I think that's what I would use. So this one, and this one, but I might substitute this kind of, not coral, well, I guess it is sort of an orange, possibly orange for the gold, I'm not sure, but those would be the ones that I would be most attracted to, I think. Second kind of color scheme would be something with the yellow. This one really calls to me as well, possibly yellow and blue along with something else. So I could see yellow, blue, and this one. Yeah. Or actually, possibly even this one, and this one. So that's what I think of this palette just based on the swatches. I hope you found the swatches useful. I do know that Off Tropic is available still at the NYX site, and I know that it is at Shoppers Drug Mart. Based on what I see here, if the other palette, and I don't remember the name, also becomes available at the same price as the Off Tropic, I think I would be interested. If you think about it, $12 Canadian for 10 shadows, and I got it on a 20 times the points day, it's a really good deal for a palette, drugstore or not. I mean, it's just a good deal. So what do you think? What do you think of the Off Tropic palette? I would be very curious to hear your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, and you're probably going to see a first impressions from me with this palette. That's it. Thank you so much for watching this swatches video. I appreciate it every single time. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.